Hi, all. I wanted to do a quick lecture or introduction on the collage exercise. This one is, I really enjoy this exercise. It's not as much fun online, but it works. It's what I'm trying to introduce to you guys, and that is a visual literacy. It is very difficult, actually, to use images and no words to convey a message, and especially a message that is where you're trying to convince someone to do something. You're trying to convey commentary or a point of view, and that can be very difficult. And the way that you do that using images is you use symbols, iconic images. So you might use, for instance, if I put an image of Michael Jordan slamming the basketball through the hoop, you instantly would have thoughts that I know you would have. NBA, basketball, great basketball player. Maybe you think of him as someone who gambled. I know there's going to be these thoughts about this iconic image of Michael Jordan. Um, a stop sign is a symbol that we all have the same idea about. So you can use images and symbols and iconic images and people and celebrities. Now, the problem that you have a lot of times using these images to convey a message or a point or to say something with is you might know the person, but generally we don't know that person. So let's say you use a celebrity where they got arrested for smoking pot, something like that, and that's trending right now, and you know it, and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe my favorite actor or singer or whoever it was got busted. But someone old like me might not be in that trend. I might not know that message. I might not recognize that person, so I don't know what the general message is. So you got to be real careful with that. But collaging, and I have this along with the art period pop art, because with pop art they were trying to convey consumerism and materialism and what was going on at the time, and pop culture. And so they were using collages to show this, but also convey a message. And and I want to illustrate how difficult it is actually to convey a message with image, just using images. So you can't string together two words, or I think I have it as three words, 2 to 3 words, where it tells someone what to think. You have to show them. A word by itself can be a symbol. It can be an image, but you can't string together words and say milk is good. That would be a word strung together, that a message. And that collaging, you'd have to do that with images. So is what happens with what you do with the collage is first you think of a social issue that you're passionate about, something that really you feel strongly about. So let's say it's don't abuse animals, or you're pro homeschooling, that's really important. Or like in my case, I hate people that drive slowly in the left-hand lane. Drives me crazy. So that's something I'd be passionate about. It's like, if you want to drive the speed limit, get over in the right-hand lane. Get out of my way, because I want to drive, I shouldn't say this on video, but I want to drive 80, 90, miles an hour, and I don't want to have to come up and wait for you to get out of the way when you decide to, or swerve around you, or go on the sidewalk, or whatever I do. So that would be something I'd be passionate about. So I would create my collage about that people shouldn't drive the speed limit in the left-hand lane. That's only for people that want to go 20 miles over. And then is what that means is you got to get over. So I would somehow convey that you need to get over, and I might use a number to show that you're driving the speed limit. And then I might have an image of me in a race car going by, and so the part that you're going to miss on the collage is there has to be a call for action, and you have to show people what to do. So a common a mistake that people make is, let's say my friends that love their guns, and so they create a collage and they put all these different kinds of weapons and ammunition and cannons and tanks and all these kind of things, guns and knives, and because that's important to them. That's what they love, and that's what they have around them. Well, that's great. But one person's going to look at it and say, oh my gosh, what a great collection of ammunition and guns and armory. And then another person can say, oh my gosh, I'm going to run because I'm afraid. So they're not going to get the same thing. So let's say you put up all those guns and then you put that big circle with a line through it. Like all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, no guns. And by the way, that's a call to action, no guns. Right? Now you might even put like what it causes, and you might put a dead person, or you might put your grandma with a wound or something that shows like this is why we don't want guns, it's bad. Whereas someone else might say, hey, don't step on my rights. If I want to have all these guns, it's perfectly legal and that's what I want. But you got to say like maybe a thumbs up, or maybe a happy face, like guns make me happy, or something, a reference to the amendments and being American. And so you have to add that second piece. You have to tell people what to do, what the action is, and what to think about this particular area. And that's the tough part with the collage. So create a collage. It can be digital. In the face-to-face classes, what I do is I get you to get an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, doesn't matter what size, and then put images on it, which you can get from the internet's fine, or out of magazines, or however, paste them together and make this collage. For our case, you're going to make the collage. If you do make it on a piece of paper, then take a picture of it and send it as a JPEG, or create it digitally and then send that as a file to me. And make sure and put your first and last name in that file name so that I can organize it and tell me what file I'm getting. But so collage is something that is what we're practicing, is visual literacy, and which, by the way, just an aside on that, is what is where we're headed. You can understand and comprehend and process more information visually, graphically, than you can having to write it out. And even a formula is a symbol that's used to represent something much bigger. So good luck with that. I look forward to your submissions, and if you have any questions, be sure and let me know.